Oh my gosh, there is so much to know, Victoria, this morning. I can't even stand it. It is, we are oozing with content today. We have so much to share with you, a lot of serious stuff, and then we're going to lighten the mood and get into some fun stuff. You're watching 5 Things to Know here on WPTV. I'm T.A. Walker.
And I'm Victoria Lewis. Good morning.
Good morning. So make sure you get your coffee. I got my Today Show mug at Universal the other day. There's a Today Show cafe. Take a little sippy poo.
Oh, wow. Yeah, just got to get that plug in there real quick.
Yeah. So I do want to start with something serious because I was driving around town like a crazy person yesterday doing other stories. And I know this situation abroad was blowing up. Victoria, can you walk us through it a little bit?
Sure. So, as they continue with the evacuations in Afghanistan, there were some threats from not the Taliban, but ISIS-K. Now, ISIS-K is?
ISIS-K? That sounds like, Cheerios has its own little brand, and it sounds like a little offshoot of ISIS, right?
It basically is. They're more found in Pakistan and Afghanistan, whereas ISIS, you're finding them more in Syria. ISIS-K actually started as they were members of the Taliban that thought that the Taliban was not extreme enough. So not only do they see the West, the U.S. as an enemy, they also see the Taliban as well. Wow. So they had been making threats, and as they were going through the security process, it was American soldiers going through the security process, trying to pat people down to process them, to get them to evacuate. There was an explosion, and we lost, I think it was 13 U.S. troops, including Marines and a Navy medic. Already those evacuations are continuing. The deadline is still Tuesday, August 31st, for the Americans to fully leave Afghanistan after 20 years.
It's crazy to me that, and I'm just a dumb guy, but it feels like that's a long period of time. And we're looking at footage of the evacuations, by the way. That's what we're looking at right there. And this is some of the people waiting to be evacuated. It just seems crazy to me that it's taken 20 years to get out of Afghanistan. But
it's the U.S. longest war. Literally, it is the longest war. It's been most of my life. We've been at war since I was in elementary school, and now, I'm an adult paying bills.
That's a weird perspective.
It really is. I mean, this has been my whole life. I think of how many people in my generation, served in Afghanistan, lost their lives in Afghanistan, and now. That is, they still are at that target date for Tuesday to hopefully get everybody out of there. They are working with the Taliban at this point to try to just, get Americans out and some U.S. allies as well.
Tina says prayers for the world. Marita says good morning. Good morning to you. Let's move on a little bit. I know we try not to. I know everybody's sick of the COVID news. Everybody's just completely over it. And I have to say I am too, with the caveat is it's our duty to keep people informed with what's going on for public health and safety. And so Kelly Dunn has this.
County's hospital dashboard shows nearly 1,000 adults and children are being treated for COVID-19. 222 COVID positive adults are in the ICU and 5 children. And those Palm Beach County hospitals are reporting that they're running a deficit of 218 beds. That is lower than the last update. COVID-19 hospitalizations across the state of Florida, they have declined slightly. The Department of Health and Human Services says just over 16,800 people are in the hospital, a drop from the 17,164 reported on Tuesday.
Now,
go ahead.
Further information on this, right?
Yes. So to add some context to numbers, yesterday you might have seen it going around that that Florida reported an additional 901 deaths, and they're saying that is the longest single day drop. And while that's true, that is a drop in information. Not 900 people died in that day. That happened over the course of a couple weeks. Still not what we want to see. We're still well over the numbers that we have been using as the benchmark for improvement. Florida still does lead the U.S. in hospitalizations. But we did see there has been a little bit of a dip. We hope to keep on seeing that. But that's kind of where the numbers stand right now.
I was talking to somebody yesterday that works here, and I was just like, I cover events, right? That's what I do. And
it's been a tough year for you.
Well, it was, but now what I was saying is, like, since we went back out to Coral Skies, I think Financial Amphitheater, it doesn't feel like at events that COVID's a thing. But like when we see those numbers, it's obviously is a thing, but it doesn't feel like anybody is treating it like we did 19, 20 months ago,
I think that, it speaks to the COVID fatigue that you were just talking about. We kind of do have short memories. Things in our lives move so much quicker than they used to. Back in the day, think in our parents' age, you hear about those sort of numbers. You even hear like those sort of war numbers happening, what's going on in Afghanistan. And that would be all anybody would talk about for weeks. Now we have something new the next day that is just as dynamic to us that they've kind of moved on. But like I'm planning a wedding. It's very big on my mind.
I have a suggestion for you, and I have a hidden gem at the end of this broadcast that I want to share with you. It's just a suggestion for a wedding venue. It's just something you can take it or leave it. Lucky says, I hope things turn around for the better for them and the world. That talking about Afghanistan. God have mercy on our souls. There's a lot of other comments there. And this one's always interesting. How many people died of pneumonia? I think you're comparing apples to oranges. Pneumonia
is also not contagious, everyone.
Well, there's that. I don't think you can really go that way. Okay, so Tropical Storm Ida not going to be impacting us. Katya Hall from our First Elite. Ooh, I like that. First Elite Alert weather team.
Meteorologist Katya Hall tracking the tropics this morning as we take a look at Tropical Storm Ida producing this large area of showers and storms over parts of Cuba, the Grand Cayman Islands. Winds currently at 45 miles per hour, and it is moving northwest at 15 miles per hour. As it moves into the Gulf of Mexico, it is expected to strengthen, becoming a Category 3 hurricane before landfall across coastal Louisiana and Mississippi with winds up to 115 miles per hour. Upwards of 8 to 16 inches of rainfall across parts of coastal Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama through early Monday morning, and the potential to see up to 2 to 11 feet of storm surge in those areas. We have a couple of disturbances out in the Atlantic, this one with a medium chance of development, this one with a high chance of formation. Regardless of development, you can see all the computer models show a path away from the U.S. and keep it out to sea.
That was Katya Hall reporting, tracking the tropics for us this morning. Tina wants to say congratulations on your wedding.
Thank you.
You guys have been together for a long time, but because of the pandemic, you haven't been able to get married. So again.
Yeah, we're coming up on 9 years here.
Everett says, good morning. Thank you so much. Appreciate that this morning. Let's move on. Mask in schools. This has been a contentious now help me figure this out, Victoria, because the governor says there is no mask mandate. He is not allowing it. The schools say, look, hey, we got to keep our kids safe. We're in charge of the kids. We're going to require masks sort of almost as a dress code, if you will, because we're the ones who are actually responsible for the safety of the kids. And so those two groups are fighting. What's the latest with that?
Well, it's actually not even just those two groups. Something we're going to see this morning is that a group of parents filed a lawsuit against the state and against DeSantis to remove that ban. A judge is expected to rule on that this morning. And a very similar case is what eliminated Texas's mask mandate ban in school. They have now stopped enforcing that at all. It is up to every single district. And they're like, here, it's a large state. You're going to have a lot of different opinions, a lot of different school districts that are going to have different ideas on what they think is right. I think at this point in Florida, we have 9 school districts currently defying DeSantis's order, although they are using the loophole of a dress code. And I went to Catholic school, so I know all about dress codes. Like teachers have no problem enforcing those. So, we'll really kind of just this morning will really decide, if it moves forward at all. The school districts may no longer even have a battle if the parents win their lawsuit. If the parents lose their lawsuit, I assume that it'll go back to court, but this time it'll be the districts versus the governor and not parents.
Tina says, I don't believe masks belong on children. Tina, I get that, but I also think we all have here. This is my opinion. It is TA's opinion. It is not part of the station's. My opinion is that we all have the information we need to have to live our lives. We can get the vaccine if we want to. We cannot get it if we don't want to. We can wear a mask if we want to. We cannot wear a mask if we want to. We have all the information because we have been providing it to the public for 19, 20 months for everybody to be able to make their decisions. If I'm a parent, I am sending my kid to school with a mask. That is my choice I'm making for my kid. You may not have that opinion, and it's okay. We can all have different opinions. It's okay.
Sure.
Chris is good morning from Boynton Beach. Were you going to add something there, Victoria?
Sure. Just what I was going to add is that, of course, people bring up parents' choice and things, but there's a lot that, and I'm a parent myself, that, schools choose that we don't get to choose. Like I think my daughter, when she grows up, if she wants to wear a tank top to school because it's 90 degrees outside, I'm cool with that. But the school's going to say no. I have to respect that. I think we're really going to see after this lawsuit where we stand.
Lucky says private schools are so serious about the uniform. Lord, shaking my head, laugh out loud.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I had to have the skirt touch the knee, and they'd always be like, well, is it touching the knee? I'm like, this is my knee. Like, come on. And it's 90 degrees in South Florida. Let me have a little bit of a breeze. That's all.
Just a little breeze. I agree with that. Parents know their kids better. That's just me. That's, again, my opinion. I do not speak for the brand or the company. That is my opinion.
That is kind of the fun of this sort of forum. You get to share a little bit more opinions, less,
Sure. But you have to label them that way.
Yes.
Doing it.
Very important.
What's going on with the cruise industry?
I love cruising. I was actually on a cruise like on March 1st, 2020, right before everything went down. So, I've really been paying attention to all of this. Right. And they're making a lot of really big changes. First, the Bahamas is requiring anybody that comes in on a cruise to be vaccinated. That includes private islands, including Disney private islands. A lot of the cruises have their private islands there. Yeah. So Disney changed their policy to just be requiring all vaccinations when it comes to the Bahamas. And that is a direct defiance of DeSantis's order. And that is threatened with $5,000 fine per instance. But most other cruise lines are going even further. Carnival, Royal Caribbean, this whole time, of course, like the Norwegian cruise line has been fighting it. They are all now requiring vaccines. We haven't seen DeSantis comment too much on this yet. He's been kind of busy with, he's been promoting his return centers and schools and all these other things. After this lawsuit is settled and we hear his opinion on that, I suspect we'll hear a little bit more about the cruises. But right now, basically, if you want to cruise and you're over 12 years old, you're probably going to have to be vaccinated.
Well, I mean, it has to be a hard tightrope for the governor to walk because on one hand, we want the cruise industry to get off the ground and going again. On the other hand, he has this mandate of no mask, no vaccine passport, if you will. So I can see that that's going to be very hard for him. Totally. I totally get that. Okay, that was the serious section of the broadcast. We're moving on. To the TA section of the broadcast. Victoria,
brighter pastors.
Victoria is responsible for the angry parts.
Sorry, guys. That's my role in this world. I'm the buzzkill. But on to TA's fun things.
I don't think you're a buzzkill. So this is fun. This is Twisted Trunk Brewery. They have their new Loxahatchee lager they're releasing. And on Saturday, tomorrow, they're going to have their Night for Natural Areas event. They've had it for this is the 6th annual one, actually. And they're releasing their Loxahatchee lager.
That is really good.
It is really good. And they will have artwork of our natural areas. Benji sent these over. These are some of the things you can buy while you're there. They will have food from Food Shack. Have you ever been there, Victoria? It's in Jupiter. So
no. Yeah, Jupiter's a little north for me.
It is, but it's worth the trip, and this is their food truck. It'll be out there. So for $25, you get a beer, you get a raffle ticket for the artwork, and then you get food from Food Shack. Pretty good deal.
That's fun, yeah. And it's good cause,
And so the Twisted Trunk has raised over $19,000 for our natural areas since its inception. And Fran over there is all about this. This is one of his favorite events.
Our favorite weekends. We just really enjoy making the beer. We enjoy the people that we meet. And again, it's such a great cause and it's where we live.
It is where we live. And I think during this pandemic, I've been going out to a lot more of our natural areas around Palm Beach County, and they are just stunning. And we've really preserved a lot of space. And if you go to wpdv.com/hidden gems, you can find a lot of them near you, even some on the Treasure Coast too. So there you go.
Good beer, good people, good cause. Like, what more could you want?
Only thing I could think is a Rolling Stones tribute. Let me see if I can share my screen. Share screen, Chrome tab.
I was going to say, I don't think the Rolling Stones are touring right now.
They are not. And, you know,
I think they're all in an at-risk group with COVID. Just saying.
They are. And, you know, we lost one this week. We lost
I didn't hear that.
Charlie Watts. But the Start Me Up it seems appropriate to have this tribute this weekend because of his death. They're going to be performing tonight in Lake Park at 8 and tomorrow in Tradition Square in Port St. Lucie. Tickets vary from $25 to about $40 range, depending on the location. They have the sights, the sounds, the moves of the Rolling Stones. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And also in Tradition is going to be, we need to do Comic Con. Did I not make a thing for that? Oh, there it is. UltraCon is in West Palm Beach.
That's more my speed.
Okay, I figured as much because they're going to have a lot of celebrities, all of which I did not know. So I felt not nerdy.
Nerd celebrities, my people.
Your people. But of course, they're going to have the comic books. They're going to have the celebrity guests. They're going to have a gaming tournament. They're going to have cosplay contests. It's $25 for Saturday tomorrow and $20 for Sunday. So I'm not sure what the difference is between the, the 2 days.
It just depends on who's speaking. You know, if they have like the more big name people, that it's going to be a little more expensive. And that's awesome. I mean, that's definitely something my fiance and I have both missed. Like, you know, the nerd content has not stopped. We haven't got to talk it out with our fellow nerds in a while. So much Marvel shows, all those fun things. TikTok a little bit, but
see, I'm a Star Trek, Star Wars guy, and the other stuff I'm kind of like, but I can geek out on.
There are new Star Wars stuff. They had, the Bad Batch just came out with the clones. So, you know, there's still new Star Wars content.
Where is this? This is going to be at the South Florida Fairgrounds. So it should be good. Lucky says people forget how beautiful and refreshing nature can be. Yeah, I did too. And I do love, going out there. This is talking about Twisted Trunk, I believe in supporting local small businesses. Me too. What do you think about the evictions going forward?
The Supreme Court decided to strike down Biden's executive action on the evictions. That's the system. You know, the judicial branch can check the executive and the legislative. So that's kind of where we are now. Congress may bring back up the issue to try to pass legislation that could, become up to snuff with the judicial branch, but we're just going to have to see. And unfortunately for the people that could be evicted, they don't really have the time for that whole process to work through. But there is still a lot of local funding, federal funding that has been given to, the local counties. Palm Beach County, I still think has, quite a bit of money in rental assistance. I would definitely look into that.
Absolutely. Moving on, Burgers, Blues, and Brews. It's at Tradition Square, Port St. Lucie. That's going to happen tomorrow from 3 to 8. Virginia Sinicki from 97.9 WRMF's KVJ show is the MC. And the Jake and Elwood Blues Review is the only Blues Brother act. Ooh, there's a typo there. Do you see how I have blue lowercase? Oops. In the world, sanctioned by the Belushi Estate and Dan Aykroyd. The event's going to happen tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then baseball tonight in Abacoa Town Center at the Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. Ashley Walters and Mike Trim, our morning anchors, are going to throw out the first pitch. And if you ever Google worst first pitch Mets game Jupiter, I come up. Just are you got any tips for them then, Ashley and Mike? Don't do it. I'm going to Google it. Right now. Let's see. Worst first pitch Mets Jupiter. Let's see. Did you try to go from the mound? Because they usually give you the benefit of if you're not an experienced pitcher, of going halfway. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's one thing to go viral for, a messed up first pitch. I mean, not everybody can be Simone Biles and do a flip and throw a perfect strike, you know?
I know, I can't. Of course, now it's not coming up, but I did not know I was throwing out the first pitch. My radio station played a prank on me, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, better
Speaking
or
of
worse
going,
than riding the Velocicoaster.
oh, jeez. At least I knew what I was getting into on that. You know, like I wasn't sprung
Yeah.
on it. Now, you and I both love the TikTok, and I know I'm not supposed to call it
Yeah.
the TikTok. I get it. Have you
The
seen
Facebook.
the Walker Hayes viral dance with the Applebee's and the Oreo?
Of course. I mean, I'm on TikTok at all. Like every couple scrolls, you'll find someone doing a rendition.
So Holly Davis and I decided to try it, and this was our first take, and we just watched the video a few times, so don't judge us. Here's what we did.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that good. It wasn't that
Yeah,
bad.
it could use a little work, but you know, I mean, I have seen worse. So there is that.
So Walker Hayes, he called in via satellite to the show, and now I can't find that. Oh, here it is. And so here's what he had to say about his song that's #1 on the country Billboard chart.
Yeah, we fancy like Applebee's on a date night. Got that Bourbon Street steak with the Oreo shake and some whipped cream on the top two. 2 straws, 1 check, girl, I got you.
If you've logged into social media in the last few weeks, you're sure to have seen fans of the chart-topping hit by Walker Hayes doing a fancy-like dance at Applebee's restaurants across the country. Good morning, Walker. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you guys for having me today. Thank you.
Of course. Now, I've seen so many creative duets, like the back-to-school version done by a high school principal on the school's intercom, the Tennessee Titans team mascot, Shaq photo-bombing one user's video, and Applebee's employees making their own versions, even a seal getting into the dance mix. Are you surprised by the reception of Fancy Like and how it's gone viral on social media?
Well, you just ran the gamut. I mean, all those are so diverse, and that's kind of what we're observing every day. We never cease to be blown away with how many spins on this dance you can do, how many different Applebee's you can do it at. Obviously, I've seen Applebee's staff left and right. I've seen people recreating the Oreo shake photo with me and my wife across the Oreo shake. But man, it's incredible. The viral nature of this song, and we're just loving it.
Now, your oldest daughter helped choreograph your TikTok's video dance, and now some of your kids are making cameos on stage during your concerts doing the dance. How cool is that?
Man, who knew? You know, when we built this family, I had no idea we were going to be like the Von Trapps, you know, getting on stage, doing, you know, creating our own Macarenas.
Yeah, how cool is it for the kids to get to be a part of your work?
That's just a neat thing, you know. It's a positive, wholesome thing that I love watching the power of music work that way.
I was listening to New Country 103.1 and Tim and Chelsea, and the first time I heard the Applebee's on a date night lyric, it made me smile because I used to work for a similar restaurant chain. It just reminded me of simpler times and of comfort food. What inspired you to put that line into your song?
I love that you just said that. There is something nostalgic about sitting down at a restaurant with your family and everybody watching the item that sizzles go by, you know, on a tray. And
yes,
that's exactly like you said. That was a simpler time. That's when I grew up, and that is I've said this in other interviews. You know, it's a lost delicacy, if you will, just kind of the normalcy of sitting in a restaurant. So that's what we do. That's what Lainey and I love to do, is find time, put the phones down.
Yes.
And we enjoy sitting down and ordering, you know, not having to do dishes, not having to cook,
right?
Things like that, because it becomes exhausting with the family. But
especially with 6 kids, right?
It is a reminder of exactly, yeah. With 6 kids, we don't get a lot of downtime, you know.
Right. I'm sorry. I have to ask, do you take your wife Lainey to Applebee's on a date night?
We absolutely do. You know, Lainey and I love Applebee's, and honestly, we met when we were 17. We were in high school together, and Applebee's was a fancy night. I would imagine we went there on prom night, where I grew up. That was as nice as it got for us, You're on a high school dime, and so you're probably stealing your dad's credit card. And
I think that's awesome. I love hearing this song. Congrats to your success with this song. Country star Walker Hayes, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me, y'all.
So much fun. He's a nice guy. And I worked for Chili's, and I so identified.
I knew it was Chili's.
Yeah. I worked at 18 of them, believe it or not.
Oh my.
I just remember, like, I graduated high school and we went to Chili's. Went to prom, went to Chili's. So I definitely identify with that song, even though it's Applebee's and Wendy's, which I worked at too, in his song. But I thought he was just a lot of fun. Now, I taped that on Tuesday. We were supposed to air it yesterday, but because of the world news events, it did not air. So this is the third day I'm wearing the pocket square, this jacket, this shirt, got the tie over there. I'm sick of wearing this.
The magic of television. Just keep wearing the same outfit. But yeah, and amen to not doing dishes and not having to cook. He's got 6 kids. I got the one, and that's already like, yeah, that sounds great.
He breathes and he gets another kid. I mean, this guy has a lot. So where are you getting married? What's
the Orlando Science Center.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah, we're gonna have the T-Rex and stuff in the background of all the reception photos. It'll be fun.
That'll be a lot of fun. There's a place here on this week's Hidden Gem that I want to show you. It's called Sundy House, and let's take a look. Sundy House is perfect for special occasions, like a wedding proposal disguised as a marketing photo shoot.
He planned it with my mom, where I didn't even know my mom was going to be here.
We set it up where she thought we were just doing a photo shoot for marketing for the Sundy House.
I did curse. I jumped back like 5 feet, and then I was very surprised.
Krista says being proposed to at Sundy House was like being in a magical fairy tale.
The secret garden is very enchanting, and you felt like Cinderella that day when I turned around and he was on one knee.
Candace was one of the photographers in on the secret engagement, and she says she loves suggesting Sundy House to her clients.
You cannot take a bad photo here. There are so many spots that are just incredible, from the pool to the gazebos. I mean, anywhere you shoot, it is just absolutely amazing.
Sundy House was built in 1902 by the first mayor of Delray Beach, John Sundy. That's why it's called Sundy House and not Sunday, which a lot of people confuse it with, because we have a delicious Sunday brunch.
Yeah, raw oysters on the half shell. They have a little cheese area set up, meat and cheese board, charcuterie.
And also bottomless, all the champagne, mimosa, Bloody Mary, frosé, all the things.
Sundy House is much more than brunch, bamboo gardens, streams, waterfalls, and koi fish ponds. You can also stay the night.
We have 11 very unique rooms. Some of them are cottages, meaning they have full kitchens, a whole living room area.
There's also a very affordable happy hour and nightly dinner service.
It's historic, it's beautiful, it's tropical, it's right in downtown Delray Beach. There's nothing like it in Palm Beach County.
If you just drive by, you almost don't know it's here. And it, like she said, it's pretty magical. The food's fantastic, drinks are great, and service is phenomenal. So I can't say enough about it.
So that's this week's Hidden Gem, and you can find
gorgeous.
It is, and it's so like I lived here. I think about 15 years before I realized that was a place, and I went to a wedding there, and it was stunning. And I stayed there on property, so I didn't have to worry about driving back up to Jupiter after celebrating. And it's I can't say enough about it. But you can go to our website wptv.com/hidden gems to find things near you. And if you have something you want us to check out, you can submit a form there, and we'll put it into consideration. So there you go. That was a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Seriously, what's our Hidden Gem list up to now? Like 100 something? We've got like a lot of fun stuff for just all ages. You want to go with the kids or have an adult night. There's lots of different stuff.
Yeah, there's over 100 of them for sure. Okay, so anything else that you want to talk about?
I think we've just about wrapped it all up. Literally everything.
Need more coffee, that's for sure. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody.